A very good morning to all aspirants. Welcome to the Civil Media's Daily Current Affairs Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy, and today's date is 13th of August 2025. And hope you guys subscribe to the Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel, and if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to receive the prompt notification. And in this video, we are going to discuss about the following topics, and the topic taken for discussion are the ethanol blending and the what is ethanol blending, as well as the second topic is the Rajyasabha and with respect to the passage of bill in the legislature of parliament, and the third topic is the Arunachal Pradesh and its geographical features as well as from the point of view of environment, and the fourth topic is the Piprahwa Relic, which was recently repatriated from the Hong Kong auction, and the fifth topic is the Deep Ocean Mission, which was obtained from the IAS Parliament website of Shankar IAS Academy, which is under the topic of prelims bids. We are gathered this Deep Ocean Mission topic from the IAS Parliament, and for further current affairs for the UPSC preparation, you can refer the IAS Parliament for more comprehensive data. This news article taken from The Hindu will express some concern over the ethanol blending of fuels in India. And with this article, we are going to know about what is ethanol blending and what is ethanol, and also about the factors or schemes behind the ethanol blending technology or ethanol blending of fuels with respect to the India as well as the UPSC prelims point of view. And what is ethanol? Ethanol is a colorless liquid which is clear in nature, and the ethanol is also known as ethyl alcohol, and the molecular formula is C2H5OH. And the ethanol can be burned to produce two elements such as carbon dioxide as well as water. But in the process, it involves the bioethanol, which is a biofuel used to produce from the plant's material, which was mainly consist of corn, involves sugar canes as well as the wheat. And what is ethanol blending? It is the blending of this ethanol to the mixture of petrol as well as fossil fuel to reduce the fossil fuel dependency among the various oil exporting countries, and it is very specific and significant for the India's dependence over the other countries which are producing or exporting oils. And there is two categories involved in this ethanol blending with respect to the India, that is E10 and E20. In E10, that is ethanol 10, it contains 10% of ethanol blending over the 90% of petrol, and in the E20 it contains 20% of ethanol proportion to the 80% of petrol. This is the process of blending that involves present in India, and India currently targets around 20% of ethanol blending over the fuel, which will be to be achieved by the year of 2025, which is an earlier target or achievement of target which was set to be in the year of 2030, but it was currently revised to 2025. We can achieve it by 2025. And what is the ethanol sources and its generation involved in this process was categorized into 1G, that is first generation to fourth generation. And the first generation of ethanol sourcing or the extraction of this ethanol from the various sources involves various feedstocks, and in the first generation involves the food crops which contains or which was majorly extracted from the molasses of sugarcane as well as the maize, and the source type was considered to be the edible source, that is the food crops base was the feedstock base was edible as well as the food based generation of this ethanol. And in the second generation, it involves the agri waste which was rotten or which was dumped in a warehouse which got stale, used in this process for creation of this methanol, and it is also a non-edible biomass which was involved in this process. And as we know, the source type was non-edible, and it also involves the lingocellulosic, which is very important with respect to this 2G generation, because this lingocellulosic involves various raw materials of various agricultural crops as well as grass which contains cellulose, hemicellulose as well as lignin in the production of this ethanol variety. And in the third generation, it involves the algae and the aquatic biomass which was marine based or the aquatic based feedstock, which primarily involves the activities of microbial activities as well as the algal activities. And the fourth stage was the involvement of genetically modified organisms, which is the considered to be the feedstock of this fourth generation, and it was produced using the method called as synthetic biology. By producing genetically using this genetically modified organism, we can produce the ethanol in a synthetic manner, which was not a source of in the which involves the earlier process. And what is the major objective or the objective behind this ethanol blending program, which undertaken by India, was to reduce the crude oil import bills from various oil exporting countries, mainly the Middle Eastern region, on which the India majorly depends upon the oil resource. And it also creates or enhances the energy security by reducing the dependency over the other countries for its fossil fuel resources. And it also primarily reduces the greenhouse gas emission of a nation by cutting down of the usage of fuel to as we discussed in this 10 percentage of ethanol blending, we reduce the amount of fossil fuel by 10 percentage. From that blending, we also made the reduction in usage of this petroleum, and it will eventually lead to the cut down of the usage generation or the emission of greenhouse gas. And the other objective was to provide additional incomes to farmer. This is also an important point, because as the ethanol blending process involves various agricultural feedstocks as well as the agricultural matter biomass, it also procured from the farmers, which will add value to the farmers economy, as well as the subsistence of this farmers resource will be enhanced. And it also creates a cleaner alternate fuel, which was the target of India's climate commitment on the Paris Agreement. And what are the government initiatives or the programs which involves the or related to the ethanol blending? Was the primary program of ethanol blending program, which was undertook in the year of 2003, and it got revamped in the year of 2014, which involves the blending of ethanol into the petroleum. And the second policy was the national biofuel policy, which was introduced in the year of 2018 and got revised in the year of 2022, which classifies what are the basis or the generation of this ethanol blending, that is 1G to 2G, 4G. And it also creates or benchmarks targets for the blending, as well as to proportion of this blending with the fuel or the petrol. And there is a separate scheme which related to the ethanol blending known as PMG1 Yojana, which is known as Pradhan Mantri Jaiv Indhan Vatavaran Anukul Fasal Avashas Nivaran Yojana, which was introduced in the year of 2019, and it specifically focused on the 2G ethanol protection. And as we discussed in the earlier, that lignocellulosic production way method was involved in this process. And this 2G ethanol this yojana also involves the viability gap funding and the integrated approach of producing this 2G variety of ethanol. And there is another scheme known as interest subvention scheme, which was introduced in the year of 2018, which involves the subsidy provision to the loan for various distilleries involved in the production of the ethanol. And there is AFFV promotion, that is flex fuel vehicles promotion. It was introduced in the year of 2021, but it is ongoing in present, and it involves the production of ethanol compatible vehicles, as well as the promotion of awareness among the people with respect to the usage of this ethanol compatible vehicles. And what are the global examples that are involved in the process of this ethanol blending? Is the global leader of this ethanol blending was done by this Brazil nation, which blends level was around 27 percentage of ethanol into its fuel capacity, which is considered as E27. And United States was also involved in the process of ethanol blending in its nation, and the ethanol blending standard was said to be around E10, that is ethanol 10 percentage. And there is also some of the areas or region which got the blending of 15 percentage as well as 85 percentage in some states of United States. And the European Union also involves in the process of ethanol blending, which makes the blending in common to with the benchmark of E5 and E10 across member states. And with this, we move to the next topic. Recently, a series of bills has been written back to the Lok Sabha because of the written by the Rajyasabha members due to the absence of opposition. And this news article was taken from the Hindu. With this article, we are going to discuss about the passage of bill in the Parliament as well as the Rajya Sabha's powers. And what was the series of news which led to the Rajya Sabha was in prominent news because of the opposition's boycott over the Election Commission's voter list issue, as well as the Gujarat's state's reservation with respect to the scheduled tribe communities, as well as the Manipur's appropriation bill towards the spending of budget allocation to the 2025 to 26 of Manipur, as well as the GST amendment made in the state GST laws of Manipur. And the government view with respect to all these bills is that the urgent need of the hour or the development will be the prime focus, but the opposition's view was contrary to that government's view, because they feel that the process was undemocratic as they passed the bill in absence of opposition members or the quorum of the house. So the outcome was the return of bill to the house which it got originated. For the passage of bill which was introduced in either house of the parliament, it needs to follow certain procedures, and the first procedure involved in the passage of the bill was the drafting process, which was prepared by the minister in case of the money bill. And a minister can also introduce a bill, ordinary bill, in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, but this drafting process can be done by also by a private member other than minister, but it was the private member bill was confined only to the ordinary bill, and money bill only introduced in the Lok Sabha. And the second process involved in the passage was the introduction, that is the first reading. It involves the first reading in the introduction. It can be either introduced in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, but in case of money bill, it will be introduced only in the Lok Sabha. And in the first reading, it was discussed only about the titles as well as the objectives of the bill, and they may not go into deep discussion in this first reading manner. And in the second reading, it involves three stages, which is the general discussion stage and the committee stage as well as the consideration stage. And the general discussion stage, they have a general debate about the bills and principles of the bill, and and it moved to the committee, which under the bill got transferred to a certain committee, to that committee for detailed study as well as the report provided by this committee, and it got into the consideration stage. In the consideration stage, the bill got only the two options, that is either accept or reject. And in the second reading, after the general discussion and after the committee stage, they go into class by class discussion as well as the provision need to be amended in the passage of the specific bill. And after the general debate as well as the general consideration, after it moves to the committee stage and after it moves to the consideration stage, it got finally moved to the third reading stage, which will got the final debate on which in the final stage only it got the only two options, that is either to accept or to reject. And in the consideration stage, they got involved in the class by class discussion. So please note that in the third reading, they got involved in the final debate of the bill, either to accept or to reject this bill. And if passed, the bill is sent to the other house for the passage. And in the other house, it also goes through the same stage, and they may pass the bill or amend the bill, and they reject the bill entirely. But if the other house was Rajya Sabha and the bill passed was the money bill, they may not have the say to reject the money bill. And with respect to the money bill, Rajya Sabha can only suggest changes, and that too within the 14 days notice, or they may hold the money bill up to 14 days. And after that 14 days, the passage of bill passed to be deemed and it got passed in the Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. It will be considered passed in both the houses. And if there is any tie between or any tussle between both the houses of parliament, there is a probability of joint sitting. And please note that there is no joint sitting mechanism present for either money bill as well as the uh, constitutional amendment bill. And this joint sitting was presided over by the leader of Lok Sabha, leader of Lok Sabha, not the chairman of Lok Sabha and not the chairman of Rajyasabha, who is not a member of both the House of Parliament. So it will be presided over by the leader of Lok Sabha or the deputy chairman of the Lok Sabha. And this joint sitting was called upon by the president if the bill was in disagree between both the houses of parliament. And after the final passage of the bill got concluded in the both the houses, the president will give the assent to the bill, and the president have the various powers to with respect to the passage of the bill, that he can give the assent to the bill or withhold the assent to the bill, or may return the bill to the house for reconsideration. And it cannot be the president cannot send the money bill for reconsideration, because the money bill was introduced in the parliament only on the prior approval of the president, and he must give assent to the money bill if it is passed again by the houses. And after the drafting and this process has been finished, it was published and enforced as a law and got notified in the gazette, and it will be got enforced immediately or from a set of or from a prescribed date on which the house deemed fit. And with respect to the Rajya Sabha's authority over the passage of the bill, specifically with the ordinary bills, it has the equal power with respect to the Lok Sabha, and it can also introduce the ordinary bill in the House of Parliament, and it got also involved in the debate, amendment, and rejection of this money bill, or pass the money bill. Pass the ordinary bill. And the recent example was the Goa State's Scheduled Tribe Representation Bill, passed by the voice vote without any debate. And with respect to the state appropriation bills, the Rajya Sabha has a say for the approval for the state fund withdrawal, as it got involved the state's purview under the Rajya Sabha. And with respect to the amendment bills, both house has to pass the bill in separate manner and must approve the amendment bill. They may not have the say in the constitutional amendment bill. And specifically with respect to the money bills and Rajya Sabha, it cannot reject or amend the bill, because it can only recommend changes, and that too within the 14 days of time. After that, the money deemed to be passed, the money bill deemed to be passed, or it deems to be passed by the House of Lok Sabha in the origin itself. With this, we move to the next topic. This news article taken from the New Indian Express will express some of the concern towards the project which was about to be implemented in the Arunachal Pradesh state with respect to the hydroelectric power project, which is shows some concern towards the environmental impact. And with this article, we are not going to discuss about the project or the elements behind this project, but we are going to discuss about the geographical features as well as the environment concerns with respect to this Arunachal Pradesh state. And this Arunachal Pradesh state is also known as the land of the dawn-lit mountains, because it geographically located in the northeastern corner of this Indian territory, and it is the first to experience the sunlight or sunrise apart from the other Indian territories, as it is found in the northeastern most corner of this India. And the capital of this Arunachal Pradesh is Itanagar. And the biodiversity it is a part of eastern Himalayan biodiversity hotspot, and it is one of the India's richest state with respect to flora and fauna diversification. And the geographical location or the altitudinal range of this Arunachal Pradesh has been found from tropical rainforest of 100 meters to the alpine meadow region of 4000 meters. And with respect to the major river system or the river system which flows in this Arunachal Pradesh was categorized from west to east as follows, that is Kamang, Subansuri, Siang, Dibang as well as Lohit. And we have to note it down that what at what river did this rivers got confluence, or it may be tributary of some other river, so we have to note it down, as well as we have to note the order on which it flows from west to east as well as east to west, because it can be asked in the UPSC prelims by asking some listing some of the rivers and asking to list out what are the major river systems flow in the Arunachal Pradesh state, as well as they may ask to list in the east to west or west to east order by flowing of this river in the particular state. And the forest cover of the Arunachal Pradesh, according to the Indian State of Forest Report of 2021, estimate of forest cover in Arunachal Pradesh was to be around 66,430 square kilometers, and it is one of the densest forest cover compared to the other Indian territories, which is about 80% of the total geographical area of Arunachal Pradesh. And the key, as we know, the Arunachal Pradesh is home to various or numerous flora and fauna species, and it also a home to one of the densest forests in the Indian territory. It has two major national parks in its territory, known as the Namdapha National Park as well as the Mauling National Park. And this Namdapha National Park is India's only national park to host all four big cats or feline species known as tiger, leopard, clouded leopard and snow leopard. And we have to note all the species and its projects behind conservation status behind it with respect to the Wildlife Protection Act as well as the sites appendices as well as the IUCN Red List. And the project behind the national tiger project, Project Tiger, or the clouded leopard, which is one of the significant wildlife species found only in the regions of Indian territories with respect to the Arunachal Pradesh as well as the Tripura. And apart from this, it is also home to other wildlife species such as red panda, mishmi, that is this mishmi, and takin, Asian elephant, etc. And we have to note this Namdapha Namdapha National Park is home to one of the rarest critically endangered species known as the Namdapha flying squirrel, which is endemic only to the Namdapha National Park. And we have to note one more species with respect to this Namdapha National Park, that is the Western Hollow gibbon. I think the spelling may be incorrect. Please correct it. Western hollow gibbon, which is the only ape species found in the Indian territory. We have to note it. And the Namdapha National Park, apart from this Namdapha National Park and Mauling National Park, it is also home to various wildlife sanctuaries like Dibang National Wildlife Sanctuary and Kamang Wildlife Sanctuary and Pakui Wildlife Sanctuary, and these two are tiger reserve also. And this Arunachal Pradesh region also contains biosphere reserve, that is Dibang Dihang Biosphere Reserve, which exclusively or which covers the area of Namdapha Wildlife Sanctuary, that is the Namdapha National Park as well as the Dibang Wildlife Sanctuary covers under this Dibang Dihang Biosphere Reserve. With this, we move to the next article. In the recent successful coordinated effort as well as the diplomatic effort taken by the Indian diplomats as well as the coordination and cooperation of various stakeholders involved in it, India has made out to home that Indian relic which is associated with the Buddhist tradition known as Piprahwa Relic, as it has been repatriated successfully to the Indian homeland. And this news article was taken from The Hindu. With this news article, we are going to know what is Piprahwa Relic and the place which associate with it, as well as the some of the additional information from the UPSC point of view. And with respect to this article, this was a successful effort made out by the Indian diplomats as well as the various stakeholders, especially the effort of public-private partnership involved in it by the group called as in Godrej Industries Group, which played a significant role in bringing back this Piprahwa Relic, which is sacred artifacts associated with the Lord Buddha, has been successfully intervened by this Indian diplomats as well as the coordinated effort of this Godrej Industries Group will made successful to bring back this artifact back to India. And with respect to the Piprahwa, which is a place near the Siddhartha Nagar in Uttar Pradesh, which is close to India-Nepal border. And with respect to the historical significance of this Piprahwa region, it is believed to be a part of ancient place known as Kapilavastu, which is the capital of Sakya kingdom, from which the Lord Buddha clan belongs. And there is a excavation on 1898 has been taken out by the British archaeologist known as W.C. Pepe on Piprahwa region, which uncovered a stupa which contains the following artifacts known as stone coffers, which is a strong box or chest contains valuables, and the reliquaries is the articles or the instrument on which the holy remains was preserved, and the gold ornaments has been taken out, and the inscription was found in this archaeological excavation. And the finding of this inscription indicates the relics was majorly associated or belongs to the Lord Buddha, which was offered after the Buddha's cremation and on the remembrance of the Sakya clan by this, and this was made out by the Sakya clan on the reverence of Buddhism. And this is the Piprahwa region, which was found on the borders of India and Nepal. And there is a place in Lumbini, which is in Nepal, which is a part of Buddhist circuit, pilgrimage circuit, and it is present day it is in Nepal, and this is also a UNESCO's World Heritage Site, and it is also the birthplace of Buddha. And with respect to the Buddhist culture and its religious tradition, it was taken out on following the cremation of Buddha in the 5th to 4th century, that is before Common Era. The holy remains of the relics was divided among 8 kingdoms, and upon the relics there is a stupa has been built out, or the mound has been built out on the reverence of the Buddha as well as the remembrance of Buddha, which is considered to be the sacred symbol of Buddhist tradition in the reverence of Buddha, as well as it embodies or believed to be the Buddhist spiritual presence over this stupa. And as I said earlier, there is a circuit of pilgrimage link between with respect to this or associated with this Buddhist tradition. The Buddhist circuit contains Lumbini, Kushinagara, Sarnath and Bodh Gaya. These are all places which was found to be the or associated with the Buddhist tradition. And this Lumbini region was present day in Nepal, and it is considered to be the birthplace of Buddha and UNESCO's World Heritage Site. And the Kushinagara will be the place at which the Buddha attains the Mahaparinirvana. That is the final passing away of Lord Buddha. And the Sarnath, the Buddha attained, the Buddha delivered his first sermon upon his enlightenment. And this Bodh Gaya is the place at which the Buddha got enlightenment, and he became considered as Buddha. And there is also a global reverence associated with the Buddhist tradition, as it honors the Buddhist tradition in various nations or the various countries across the world, which also follows the Buddhist tradition, such as Sri Lanka, Thailand, Myanmar, Japan, and beyond. The Southeast Asian nations also follow the Buddhist as their religion as well as the culture or the tradition which they follow, as the reverence to the Buddhist Buddha. And this is the stupa from which the relics has been made out, this Piprahwa region. And this is the stone coffer which is found excavated in the 1898 excavation done by the W.C. Pepe, British archaeologist. And this is the 5 caskets which contains the relics, holy relics of Buddha as well as the jewels, which was found in this stone coffer. And what are the protocols that involves the process of repatriation of artifacts from the various nations? First is the identification as the verification. First we need to locate the artifacts at present day where it belongs, and we have to confirm the place of origin, that is the provenance, that the artifacts belongs to which place, or the origin of artifacts from which place we need to identify, and as well as we have to confirm. For that we need to gather evidence from the homeland as well as the artifacts belong to. And the second protocol we need to follow is to comply with the legal basis. On India, we have to follow the 1972 of Antiquities Act as well as the International Convention on which the retrievation of articles belongs to contains UNESCO's 1970s convention as well as the UNIDROIT's 1995 convention, which is this UNIDROIT convention was the convention based upon the stolen as well as illegal trade or illegally exported cultural artifacts. And the diplomatic actions also will be the prominent one in this protocol, which involves the various ministries as well as the embassies of the other nation engage in an amicable manner with respect to the host country to make the artifact or to retrieve the artifact back to home, which also involves some of certain treaties as well as agreement between both the nations as well as the both the parties who are involved in the process of this exchange. And the other process was the other protocol was to be a negotiation. There will be an amicable negotiation. We have to work with the auction houses on which the artifacts was present at sold or about to be sold, and we need to engage with the collectors who collect the artifacts or who involved with the products of antiquities. And we have to also engage with the museums and involved in the process of public private partnership. As we discussed in this topic, there is a intervention from the public private partnership which made a significant role in the retrieving back of the artifact, that is Piprahwa Relic, from the Hong Kong's auction. And there will be an international cooperation that needs to be undertaken in certain measures to use or to track the artifacts from which the artifacts has been stolen or it has been taken away. The institutional involved in this process are the Interpol, that is International Police, for the illegal trafficking of artifacts or relics from the homeland. And also we have to involve in the engagement of International Council of Museums for tracking of artifacts or home of artifacts which it belongs, as well as to the coordinated effort taken with respect to the or coordinated effort has to be taken from the effort of UNESCO's network for their further support. And the final process is the repatriation, which is the transportation of object or the bringing back of the artifacts to home, which requires the secure legal transfer upon the agreement or the treaty which was successfully made out. And we have to ensure the safe transport of this artifact because it may of very old in nature and it very antique in nature, and we have to ensure the artifact in proper manner because it ensures the secure and we have to that also ensures the safety of the artifacts upon transportation. And the final process or the protocol was the safeguard, which was to be conserved in the museum, was to be placed in the museum for further conservation as well as to safeguard from external damages, as well as to we have to update in the national registry upon its arrival, as we have to make it in the registry for further tracking of other artifacts associated with it and to track various artifacts which are belong to the same lineage, and to promote the public awareness to involve the public also need to be in the process of conservation as well as to make the artifact safe in the Indian territory as well as the nation which it belongs. With this, we move to the next article. In a recent reply to the question asked regarding the Deep Ocean mission, our Ministry of Earth Science has provided a written reply in the Parliament Rajyasabha. This news article was taken from the Press Information Bureau, and with this article we are going to discuss about the Deep Ocean mission and the elements behind this flagship project, as well as about the nuances of this deep ocean mission undertook by the India. And this under the provided reply by the Rajyasabha, in the Rajyasabha by the Ministry of Earth Science, it has opened, or the minister expressed that under the deep ocean mission, India has been allotted a seabed area of some certain kilometers by the International Seabed Authority for exploration, as well as for the conduction of surveys at 19 sea mounts, which yields around 1,300 organisms for the exploration as well as for the research purpose, which includes around 23 new species got under the purview of this exploration or the deep sea mission. And what is this deep ocean mission, which was implemented by the Ministry of Earth Science, and it is one of the 9 missions under the Prime Minister's Science, Technology, Innovation and Advisory Council. And under this deep ocean mission, the International Seabed Authority has allotted 75,000 square kilometers of area in the Central Indian Ocean Basin, as well as 10,000 square kilometers in the Central Indian Ridge and Southwest Indian Ridge Ocean region. That is the South Indian Ocean region. And the under this deep ocean mission, the exploration has been conducted by the Center for Marine Living Resources and Ecology, which is headed headquarters in the Cochin region. And under this exploration mission, biodiversity surveys can be undertook across 19 seamount regions spreading across the Arabian Sea as well as the Bay of Bengal. And 1,300 deep sea organisms may be collected, studied and has been documented under this deep ocean mission project. And the 23 new species, which is very new to the science, has been explored, and the genomic analysis of this species has to be conducted and provided in a documentary manner. And under this deep ocean mission, the collaboration has been done with the projects include the government as well as the private labs, universities as well as institution, as it is a multi stakeholders collaboration, which provides a comprehensive set of data for more analysis as well as the proper structuring of data and data management. And with respect to the data management and knowledge sharing, the data has been shared with the United Nations Ocean Biodiversity Information System for comprehensive analysis across the nations, and the Marine Microbial Information Portal under the National Institute of Ocean Technology, which is headquarters in Chennai, which will conduct the genomic data analysis as well as on the deep sea microbes, which has to be enlisted in the public domain. And the international role of this deep ocean mission, because India is a member of India's International Seabed Authority, which will be under the purview of United Nations Convention for the Laws of the Sea. And what is International Seabed Authority? It has been established under the United Nations Convention on the Laws of the Sea that we discussed in the earlier slide, and it was introduced in the year of 1982. It is a type of intergovernmental organization where various nations has been a state party member in this authority, and the role of this International Seabed Authority is to organize, regulate and control the mineral related activities in the international seabed area. And with this, we have to note down that what are the India's territory with respect to the maritime environment, and we have to note the clear distinction, and we have to know about the areas under the influence of the maritime area, which was under the influence of Indian territory, by clearly distinguishing between the contiguous zone, territorial waters as well as the economic sensitive zone. And we also have to this International Seabed Authority also have the role to beyond the national jurisdiction, that it got the purview of national jurisdiction. Apart from that, it has the overall purview across the nations, and it also ensures activities for the benefit of humankind. And hope you guys like the video, and please share the comments in the comment section given below, and share the video to your friends, and please subscribe to the Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel and click the bell icon to receive the prompt notification. Have a nice day.